I'm Jenny Taft with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. How we doing, guys?
Great.
Hey, your man LeBron has lost his mind. He has lost his mind, and we're going to talk about that after we talk about a real GOAT.
Ain't no real GOAT.
A real one. Jenny, you're on. Go.
No.
LeBron is just doing some homework,
That's it.
guys. He's getting
Homework.
Yes.
out of the bubble.
On the GOAT?
He gets back to work. We will explain everything there with LeBron James. But yes, how about we do talk about another GOAT, Skip? I like that. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they are facing off this weekend on Fox. And you know what? It's the first time as NFC opponents. Between the two of them, they have 22 Pro Bowls, 7 Super Bowl wins, and 5 MVPs. While Brady has the edge in Super Bowl rings, obviously, Rodgers has always been known to have the more gifted arm. So, Shannon, who has the better quarterback, Rodgers or Brady?
The better quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. The more accomplished quarterback, the quarterback that has had the best career is Tom Brady, and you can make the case that Tom Brady has had the best NFL career of any player, regardless of position. Skip, but for me, Aaron Rodgers can do things throwing the football that only Tom Brady can dream of doing. There's not a throw that Tom Brady can make that Aaron Rodgers can't make. There are several throws that Aaron Rodgers can make that, as I said before, Tom Brady can only dream of making. And prior to seeing Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers was the most gifted thrower of the football that I'd ever laid eyes on. And I was in the era of smack dab. And I remember Dan Marino, played with Dan Marino in a couple of Super Bowls. But Aaron Rodgers was the most gifted thrower of the football that I had ever seen. And his ability to throw the ball from different arm angles, from different platforms, rolling left, rolling right, and throw with accuracy is what set him apart from any other quarterback that we had ever seen. Now, when it's all said and done, hey, Skip, maybe in 10 years from now, you and I have a conversation. It's going to be about Patrick Mahomes and where he ranks in the pantheon of great quarterbacks. But for this discussion, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, I don't think it's no doubt in anyone's mind that Rodgers is the more gifted of the quarterbacks. He's the more talented of the quarterbacks. He's more mobile. He's more accurate. And so when you look at this, Skip, Aaron Rodgers had a better completion percentage, yards per attempt, passer rating. He has a lower interception rate, and he has a higher TD to touchdown interception ratio. So when you look at it in that context, it's hard for me to say that Tom Brady is better. Now, has Tom Brady won more? Yes. Is Tom Brady more accomplished? Yes. Has Tom Brady had the better career? Yes. He's also had Coach Belichick for 20 seasons. But let's just take the first 5 weeks of the season. And everybody knows at home, you've been watching, and you see how bad the Cowboys' defense is. Aaron Rodgers' playoff defenses in his career has been worse than the Dallas Cowboys are this year. In 6 of his 8 playoff losses, they've given up at least 37 points. That's only happened to Brady twice in 41 games, and Tom Brady lost both of those. Rodgers, top 5 scoring defense. He had that one time, Skip, and he won the Super Bowl in 2010. Top 5 scoring defenses for Tom Brady. He's had 8 of those. Top 10 scoring defenses. In 16 of his 20 years under Coach Belichick, he's had a top 10 defense. Aaron Rodgers had 3 of those. One top 5, and 3 top 10 defenses for Aaron Rodgers. So for me, Skip, I don't really think it's close. As far as talent, as far as throwing the football, as far as the better of the quarterbacks, and you say, Shannon, I'm gonna give you get one game to win tomorrow, or Sunday, or Monday, or Tuesday. How it goes, Skip? We might be playing football on Wednesday night. Give me Aaron Rodgers right now, anytime.
You realize you just outdid even yourself on the show. In the history of the show, you have never uttered more foolishness than you just uttered.
I gave him a compliment.
Jeff George could make throws that Tom Brady never dreamed of making. You remember Jeff George?
I do remember
the
Jeff
knucklehead
George.
that was Jeff George, and he won what, okay? Kyle, I should have been a bowler, could make throws Tom Brady never dreamed of making. When they worked out, Kyle, I should have been a bowler at Cal, he kneeled at the 50-yard line and threw it over the goalpost.
He did.
And everybody said, oh, my God, it's the second coming of whoever. You know, like this is going to be the greatest thing that ever happened.
Right.
It was like he was going to be my homeboy.
Yeah.
Wrong, wrong, wrong. the greatest thrower of the football, especially under pressure when it really mattered, is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., and it's not even close. And for you to dare to try to make the case, the argument that Aaron Rodgers is somehow better than Tom Brady, it's way more far-fetched than your LeBron over Jordan argument. Because obviously, your man, Aaron Rodgers, barely made it to one Super Bowl.
Barely?
Barely, because in the championship game at Chicago, remember what he did?
Yes.
He was up against, in the second half, Caleb Haney. The immortal Caleb Haney took over for Jay Cutler because my Vanderbilt man, Jay Cutler, wound up with a sprained knee on the exercise bike during the second half on the sideline. Caleb Haney took over, and Aaron Rodgers survived that game. That's the only conference championship game he has won. He is 1-3 in conference championship games. And in that game, he threw no touchdowns and 2 big interceptions, one of them to Brian Urlacher that nearly tilted the game in the Bears' favor. And they survived 21-14 in that game. So he got to one long ago Super Bowl, 10 years ago, and he did win that one, while Tom Brady has made it to 9 Super Bowls with a record of 9-4 in championship games, which is just extraordinary. That's 13 championship games. And the 6 that he won, every one of them was won with a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter or overtime. You want to talk about off the charts? You want to talk about legendary? You want to talk about impossible? That's impossible. And I have made the case. I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan on the planet. But when it comes to clutch play in the biggest moments on the biggest stage in your sport, Brady has actually eclipsed Jordan as an overall clutch player, the most consistent clutch player we've ever seen in any sport, because he's had so many more opportunities than Jordan had in NBA Finals. Because 9 Super Bowls, and I'm going to make the case, he won 6, but he should have won 7, because that first Eli Super Bowl, Tom Brady did what he always does in Super Bowl games. He drove them 75 yards in 12 plays, and with 2 minutes left, he hit Randy Moss with what I thought was the game-winning touchdown. That put them up 14-10. And Bill Belichick's defense allowed Eli freaking Manning, to drive it 83 yards in 12 plays to pull off a shocking upset. 17-14. And by the way, Tom Brady should have actually won an 8th Super Bowl, because against the Philadelphia Eagles, Tom Brady threw for a playoff record, still stands, 505 yards, and piled up 33 points. And Bill Belichick still gets a pass to this day for allowing a Nick Foles that you have little to no respect for, the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, to hang 41 on his defense, 41 points, in part because he benched the defensive player who had played the most snaps in the regular season, Malcolm Butler, who, by the way, had 2 interceptions on Tuesday Night Football, and he got away with it. Belichick benched him for no explicable reason. It's a complete mystery, and they allowed 41, and you're giving me all this crap about Aaron Rodgers' defenses? Are you kidding me? Tom Brady should have 8 rings. 8!
Skip, can I ask you a question? Why is it the Super Bowls that he lost, you say he should have won, but there are 3 or 4 Super Bowls that he won that he could have lost? But you never do that.
I know,
but lost to Seattle.
But he won them.
Okay, so he lost those.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
He was down 24-14 going to the fourth quarter against the Legion of Boom. And in the fourth quarter, Tom Brady threw for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns and won it.
But Skip, you can't say in the Super Bowls that he lost, he should have won, without saying the ones he won, he could have lost. You can't have it just one way. He should be 8. No, he should be 8-1. No, he could have easily been 3-5. He could have easily been 2-6.
Show me one where he stunk it up. Show me one where he had a bad fourth quarter. Show me one, because you can't.
Skip, the fourth quarter is not there. 3 other quarters. What about Atlanta? What about Atlanta? They jump out 28-3, and Coach Belichick's defense doesn't give up another point.
Thank you.
What about that?
Thank you for bringing that up. In the fourth quarter and overtime of that game, Brady threw for 246 yards. Think about that.
So you ain't gonna give
246 yards.
Belichick's defense any credit.
Aaron Rodgers never dreamed of that kind of a performance.
So you're not gonna give Coach Belichick's defense any credit for pitching a shutout the last 30-plus minutes of the ball game.
I'm glad you brought that up also, because Tom has benefited from some very good defenses and some pretty good defenses. But let me ask you this. Has Tom Brady ever had your 2000 Ravens Ray Lewis defense? Has he ever had that?
Skip. What great
No, seriously.
Let me ask you a question. What historic quarterback has ever had the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or the 02 Bucks? What historically great quarterback?
Or the Steel Curtain Steelers or the Doomsday Dallas defenses.
What quarterback?
Roger Staubach, you can argue he had that, and Terry Bradshaw had the Steel Curtain. They did.
Maybe, but we don't. I think when we look at great quarterbacks, it's basically